Welcome into another episode of Ravens Reports, man. We have so much insane news going on right now, from some legal stuff going on with Ben Cleveland and some accusations against Justin Tucker. We got Derrick Henry putting in some work in the offseason, as well as an update on wide receiver Deebo Samuel, a new coaching hire, and a prediction from Mel Kiper in this year's draft that's right around the corner, and much more, man. So I hope you guys are doing well. I miss you guys. It's been a little bit since we've uploaded a video. Been super busy lately, but I'm excited to be back with you guys. We're going to have the content rolling. Free agency just a few weeks away. The draft really close, man. So let's go ahead and dive into the content. At number 1, Mel Kiper has a prediction for the Baltimore Ravens, what they're going to do in this year's draft. He actually has the Baltimore Ravens selecting a safety in the first round. There's some good safeties that could be available if you wanted to just absolutely go crazy and stack your secondary with another first-round selection alongside our Darius Washington, Kyle Hamilton, and then nickel, Marlon Humphrey, and then Nate Wiggins. By the way, Nate Wiggins, he had the third highest pass breakups in the NFL. Check out that graphic real quick. But here is what Mel Kiper had to say, and a projection on TJ Tampa, who they drafted in the 4th round in the 2024 NFL Draft.
With the 27th pick in Mock 3.0, the Baltimore Ravens take Malachi Starks of Georgia. Are you happy?
Love Malachi Starks. He didn't have. I think he's a ball magnet. I think that's what he's going to be in the NFL. He will go get the football. He's got great range. Didn't have the phenomenal year we expected. I thought he could be a top 10 pick back in August. We talked about James Pierce Jr. and Michael Williams. Malachi Starks was another one of those guys we had way up there in terms of August, even September. Remember that play against Clemson he made? I thought he was called
first game of the season
this year. That was the only interception, I believe, was the one against
Only
Clemson.
one. That's right.
It was a highlight reel play. But I do think in the NFL he can be a ball magnet. He already proved that during his career. Okay, I think he ended up with 6-7 interceptions for his career. Could have had more this year. Ended up with just one. But I like this pick. I also think corners are neat. Now, the key guy here is TJ Tampa. If TJ Tampa is he a corner, is he a safety? He's a heck of a football player. Now, the recovery speed is the thing in question. That's why he was a 4th-round pick, not a 2nd-round pick. But I think TJ Tampa is going to play a role in this secondary moving forward in 2025.
So Mel Kiper's high on TJ Tampa. I've mentioned him a few times as him possibly being a starter if the Baltimore Ravens don't grab another corner or replace someone in free agency, because Brandon Stephens is a free agent, remember. So if they want to have Marlon Humphrey in the slot again, then Nate Wiggins is going to be on the outside. It would probably be TJ Tampa or Jalen Armour-Davis on the other side. So the Ravens could let them two battle it out or have them rotate for a starting corner spot. Or the other option is Marlon Humphrey can play outside. You can have Marlon and Nate Wiggins on the outside, and you can have TJ Tampa at a safety position, or you could have Kyle Hamilton in the nickel. You got so many different options. The nice thing about the Ravens secondary is their versatility, specifically with two guys in Marlon Humphrey and Kyle Hamilton. Marlon Humphrey can play outside or nickel, and Kyle Hamilton can play deep safety, corner. He can play literally everything. So it's awesome, the versatility they have in their secondary. But regardless, they're going to have to either grab another safety or another corner, if not both, because they do have some free agents. Both Tre'Davious White and Brandon Stephens are free agents, and I don't foresee the Ravens bringing those guys back. At number 2, a former defensive back for the Baltimore Ravens, Anthony Levine. You guys remember he was an absolute special teams phenom, just awesome special teamer. They called him Co-Cap, great leader, great energy guy. This type of guy would be the perfect coach. And the Ravens bringing him in as a coach. He's brought in as the assistant special teams coach to help out, and I'm really excited about that hire because Anthony Levine was one of the best special teamers in the business during his era, and he's got a lot of experience. High energy guy, can relate to the players, and I'm excited about that hire because special teams needs some work, and I think he's going to help out this unit. At number 3, we talked about Deebo Samuel. He came out with the trade request. Baltimore Ravens, they don't necessarily need another top guy at receiver, but they need depth, because I saw a bunch of people in the comments saying, bro, we're good with Zay Flowers and Bateman, and I agree. Those dudes are great, 1 and 2s. Some fans say that we need an actual true number 1 X type of wide receiver. I love Zay Flowers and Bateman. The problem is the depth at the position. You're losing multiple guys. Nelson Aguilar and Tylan Wallace are free agents. Right now, the top 3 receivers are Flowers, Bateman, and Tez Walker. You need 3 other players at that position. So the Ravens are definitely going to have some room for some guys to come in the draft and or free agency, because you can't just roll into the season with 3 wide receivers on your roster. Now, I understand Dayton Wade was on the practice squad, and the Ravens signed Anthony Miller to a future contract. So there's some options there. But the Baltimore Ravens need depth at that position, and Deebo Samuel is an absolute physical freak who can catch screens and take it to the house. He can run routes. He's really good in the slot. He's physical. I was just talking about the physicality the Ravens have on their team. Like, they got some dogs at linebacker with Roquan. They got Kyle Hamilton. They got Derrick Henry and Patrick Ricard in the backfield. They got Linderbaum on the line. But the one, position they could use that like physicality, tone setting, I'm a bully type of mentality would be the wide receiver position. And Deebo Samuel, dude's a bully. I mean, the guy just bounces off tackles. He's physical in the run game. He is just a very physical, tough-nosed football player that I think would be a perfect Raven. And now, if as long as the mentality, team aspect is in check, as long as he's not like, being a diva wanting the football every other snap, then that's cool. But Deebo, I do think, would add another level of physicality. Him and Bateman and Flowers and Andrews and Likely and Lamar and Henry would just not be fair. But it's reported that the 49ers are expected to release Deebo instead of a trade. In that, because I think the way that would work is it would give them more salary cap space, which is a priority for them right now. So it's reported. I don't know if we'll see, but I'm sure the Ravens would at least have interest if if they don't have to part ways with draft capital. It would be a fun ad for the Ravens offense, especially with that physicality. Speaking of physicality, at number 4, Derrick Henry we know he's a monster, man. The reason he's a monster is because he puts in this type of work every single offseason. The reason why he's, looking like he's in his prime with a near 2,000-yard rushing season and like 15 touchdowns or whatever it was is because of this type of work that he puts in. 31 years old, here he is at the gym doing these hold extended lunges. And Derrick Henry, man, I think the Ravens have discussed a contract extension with him because it would open up some salary cap space if they would add another year or two to his deal. And I wouldn't be mad at that at all, because even if Henry only has another year or two of true workhorse numbers and like performance in his body, he could still be a great goal line back and a number 2 back, for years to come, just because of his straight power, his size, and his work ethic. We know none of that's going anywhere. So I'd be interested in bringing back Henry on a contract extension. At number 5, some not so fun news. Ben Cleveland was arrested. He had a DUI. It's reported. I'll just say allegedly for all this stuff for legal reasons. So allegedly arrested for a DUI, which is crazy because Ben Cleveland is actually a free agent. And he's about to hit free agency in 2 weeks, so it's not a good way to start free agency. We'll see if he finds work on another NFL team, but it's not looking good for his future right now. It's not a great way to start free agency. And then we haven't really talked about this because a lot of it's allegations and it's a touchy subject and stuff, but it's reported. This has, been out there for a while. Justin Tucker, he was accused of sexual misconduct during massage session, similar to the whole ordeal that we saw unravel with Deshaun Watson. I'm not saying they're the same, but it's not looking good for Justin Tucker right now. Apparently the allegations are coming, according to Baltimore Banner Sports, from 16 different massage therapists from 8 different spas. And I'll just say this, man. I thought, you guys, you remember this earlier in the season, I thought the Ravens should have released Justin Tucker before I heard any of this stuff, due to performance issues, where, he was missing a lot of field goals. And now people are saying some of those missed field goals could have been coming from behind-the-scenes stuff and allegations and stress. And it's also reported that he was going through some other off-the-field stuff, issues, family life stuff. So I've always been a big fan of Justin Tucker, but obviously, if any of this stuff is true, I don't think he should be on the Baltimore Ravens. And like I said, I didn't think he should be on the Ravens whenever, just due to performance issues, where I thought there was other kickers that could have came in and hit some of the field goals and extra points that he was missing, that was costing the Ravens games. And we'll see what happens, what unravels with this, but we had to at least talk about this, how there's more allegations going on right now. And I think the Ravens, regardless of the situation, like I said, I thought they should have released him during the season whenever he was having just straight up performance issues. He would open up some salary cap space, and the Baltimore Ravens could go in a different direction through the draft or free agency with a kicker there. On some lighter news, Lamar Jackson looking like he just posted this. It says bones. I don't know what that means, but Lamar got his hair straightened out, and here's the picture. I just thought it was funny, man. So, man, we got the free agency period opening up in just about 3-ish weeks. We're getting really close. We're going to have more mock draft content for you guys. So make sure you have your subscribe and notification bell on, man. Smash the like button if you got any value out of today's content. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.
When he wasn't looking, he ran me over.